I'm your pocket filler, the parlay killer, the Northside thriller. Start the broadcast. Subscribe with a smash. The Gorilla Sports Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome in Gorilla Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Bulpin, and it is Saturday, November the 23rd. All right, let's recap from Thursday. We started the week off right. We went 1-0 on our full unit plays. We ended up losing our same game parlay. However, I've said this before, when you're doing full unit bets, they should be, if you're betting, say, $100 a play, those should be $100. But your same game parlays should never take away from your winnings. So whether you're betting 20% on a same game parlay, a $20 bet, a $10 bet, something like that should be your same game parlays because they're really not supposed to win. But our single plays, if you're just betting the single plays all the way through, you're gonna have a winning NFL season. Just stick with me. All right. Also, if you're not following me on Twitter, you need to do so. At Bulps1, B-U-L-P-S, and the number 1. I gave out 4 NBA plays last night. All 4 came through. So I know all my Twitter followers and all my buddies all have a nice fat stack that they can go and bet on the NFL. Now let's get into the NFL for Sunday. My first play is I'm taking Rome Odunze, Chicago Bears rookie wide receiver. We're going to take him over 43.5 receiving yards. Now, he's covered this in 2 out of his last 3 games, averaging 64 yards over his last 3 games. He's averaged 52 yards over his last 6 games. Minnesota gives up the 3rd most receiving yards to the wide receiver position. Keenan Allen's questionable, so if he doesn't go, that's just extra targets, extra catches for Rome Odunze. This is a great spot for Chicago. And their passing attack, I don't mind Cole Kmet over his 24.5 receiving yards as well. But my official play is going to be Rome Odunze over 43.5. My next play is I'm going to quarterback Green Bay Packers, and I'm going to take Jordan Love under 247.5 passing yards. I found that one on FanDuel. He's got under this number in 3 out of his last 6 games. San Francisco gives up the 7th least amount of passing yards to the quarterback position. The last 4 quarterbacks going versus San Fran have all gone way under their number. Geno Smith threw for 221. He averages 278. Baker threw for 116. He averages 250. Dak was right on the money, 243, and he averages 247. But the game before that, Patrick Mahomes threw for 154, and he averages 240. This is a great spot to give me Jordan Love under 247.5 passing yards. My next play is I'm taking Hunter Henry, tight end, New England Patriots. We're going to go over 43.5 receiving yards. He's covered this in 4 out of his last 5 games. He's averaging 54 yards a game over that stretch. Miami gives up the most targets, the 2nd most receiving yards to the tight end position. Hunter Henry's coming off a 6 for 63 game last week, so he was smashed over that number. Miami's defense is coming off getting Brock Bowers giving up 13 catches for 126. Look, granted, Hunter Henry is no Brock Bowers, but we only need about 30% of that production. Give me Hunter Henry over 43.5 receiving yards. My next play is I'm taking Cortland Sutton, wide receiver, Denver Broncos, over 58.5 receiving yards. I found that one on FanDuel. He's covered this in 4 straight games, averaging 93 yards a game over that last 4. Now, ever since that goose egg game where he had 0 targets and 0 catches, he's been an absolute monster, going 8 for 100, 7 for 122, 6 for 70, and 7 for 78. All smashing over that number of 58.5 we're looking for. This is a great spot versus a bad Las Vegas defense. Also in that same game, I also like Bo Nix's passing yard total. I like him over 213.5. He's covered that in 4 straight, averaging 257. So that's a great spot for Bo Nix as well. My next play is I'm taking Baker Mayfield, quarterback, Tampa Bay Bucks, over 10.5 rushing yards. Now, I found that at DraftKings. This guy gets out and runs a lot. This is a weird line for him. Now, he's covered this in 4 of his last 6 games. The New York Giants give up the 3rd most rushing yards to the quarterback position. Their last 5 quarterbacks versus the Giants have all gone over this number. Bryce Young went for 30. Jaden Daniels went for 35. Jalen Hurts went for 22. And then 2 similar quarterbacks to Baker that are mostly pocket passers that can have a little bit of speed. Joe Burrow went for 55, and Geno Smith went for 72. And we're looking for 11 rushing yards out of Baker Mayfield. This is a great spot. I think this number's wrong. It should be around 14, 15 and a half, something like that. It's going to be Baker Mayfield over 10.5 rushing yards. We found that on DraftKings. My last play is for Monday night, but I want to get this out now because I think this number is only going to go up. We're going to take Justin Herbert, quarterback, LA Chargers, over 255.5 passing yards. I found that at DraftKings. I see that FanDuel's number is already up, so this number is only going to go up. Bet this one right now. He's gone over this number in 4 of his last 5 games, averaging 275, and he's got a great matchup in Baltimore. They are an absolute pass funnel. They are they're the top of rushing defense, but they are dead last in passing defense. They give up the most passing yards to the quarterback position, the most attempts, the most completions, and the 4th most passing touchdowns. This is a great spot for Justin Herbert, over 255.5 passing yards. Alrighty, guys, we got 6 plays going for Sunday and Monday. We've had a hell of a week, and we're on a nasty NFL run. So if you guys are rocking with me, let's roll.